Let's talk about a clarification over here about when a new imbalance is confirmed as a potential supply demand zone. We have these two main rules. The first reason why a demand area or a zone is because it takes out its opposing zone in the same time frame where it's been detected, or either that or that it breaks a trend line in the same time frame it's been located. So that's very clear. But what about this situation? We've got no opposing zone to be taken out. Let's take a look at the chart. This is the monthly on the Aussie Yen. We've got a strong drop, explosive move down. Okay, it took out this area of demand by a couple of pips. This is supply because we took out these areas over here and even that one. Okay, very strong area. But if that area is taken out, then we've got this area over here valid, very wide, no consolidation away, and all that. Those are other nuances that you have to take into account. So this area is valid because it took out this area. Too wide and all that, so it's not tradable. So in this scenario, we've got valid supply and all that. Okay, so if that is valid supply, then this is valid demand, isn't it? This area over here. Because this is validated as valid supply as per the rules. It doesn't matter if it is too wide, too weak, etc. That is another thing. I mean, the tradability of a level. If it is too wide and no 2-to-1, no consolidation away, etc. Okay, no problem. It's not tradable. But it is supply. Why? Because it did remove demand. Those are two different things. You don't have to mix them up. So this is demand. What is the closest area of supply on the monthly? Now one area and that one. So from here to here, we've got a big room. We've got big room from there. But are there any intermediate supply zones on the monthly from here to here? No, there are not. So all these areas are these areas over here demand? You may be asking. Well, if there is no supply area in the middle, how can we have demand area right there? Though that is an endless loop. So the whole set of rules is broken, destroyed, and the logic doesn't work. Doesn't work out. But that is not true. There is a clarification. And also that we have the trend lines as well. Okay? So even though we don't have visible areas over here, then we will have other areas over here. That doesn't mean that in lower time frames, and let me draw a vertical line so you can see over there, on the lower time frame, on this way down, we will have weekly areas of supply, and then on the weekly, we will have areas, as you can see. Where did price reacted? Look at that one. Look at that. On the monthly, there's nothing there, as you can see. So you look purely at the monthly, and you say, why did price react to that area? Come on, there's nothing there. But you look at the weekly time frame, and suddenly, out of the blue, by magic, whoa, there is a weekly area of supply over there. Okay, and if you look at the daily, then you will have a nested area of supply within that weekly area of supply, and the supply over there, and all that. So when you look at the monthly, the biggest time frame that we have on MetaTrader, you will see that there are no areas in between. Okay, in between from here to here, but that doesn't mean we don't have areas in the middle on time frames lower than the one that we are looking at, which is the monthly. This is why price is fractal. We need to look to choose our time frame combination, weekly, daily, monthly, 4 hour, whatever time frames that we use, by using a scale factor, appropriately scale factor, and then we apply the same rules to each time frame. We combine all them together and we make a decision. So this is demand, this is supply, nothing intermediate. So there is a clarification. If there is, we can validate levels if there is no opposing zone to be taken out. Here we've got lots of room, profit margin for price to move, and a neutral line is being respected as long, let's say here, as long as trend line is being respected. So over here, this is what we've got. Okay, we've got a lot of profit margin. You must agree that there's a lot of profit margin from here to here. So more than 4, 5 to 1, and this is a very wide level. This is not normal. So as long as price rallies, this is the area, previous area of supply removed, and that was an area of demand created right afterward. Why demand? Because it did have a lot of room, more than 3 to 1. Okay, and it is reacting, and there is nothing to remove. If there is nothing to remove, then you have to consider this demand because there is nothing. Then when you reach confluences like the 20 EMA or intermediate time frames in the context of a downtrend, because it's a clear downtrend on the monthly, then you have to stop trading up there. Okay, because price will probably react to those when you have confluences with those zones, flip zones, etc. So once you hit that area of supply, you say, I'm not trading anymore up there because price will probably react lower. So this is demand, because there was a lot of room for price to keep on rallying. It even consolidated away and then dropped because we've got a lot of room. And now price starts to range between this weekly intermediate supply zone and this monthly area of demand, because there's a lot of profit margin to reach up there. Okay, so now price rallies and makes a higher high. Okay, so when it makes a higher high, we've got a new ascending trend line connecting this peak, and then we've got another peak over there. So we connect these two peaks with a new trend line. Okay, from here to there. That will be the uptrend. If there is an uptrend and we break a trend line, so we've got now an uptrend, you could say, why do we have an uptrend? Because demand areas are being respected and supply areas are being removed. When you take this into consideration, then everything makes sense. So this is supply. Why? Because it broke the trend line. Okay, it broke the trend line, and this is a wow short, and then price dropped like a rock. Okay, so now price keeps on rallying, and if this is supply, when price rallies, then this is demand, isn't it? Oops, because now the trend line should be updated to these over there, this thing over here. Latest two imbalances, two peaks, two valleys, sorry. Okay, this is valid demand because it removed this area of supply. So you say, okay, this is supply, but there was no other supply, so how can this be supply? Because it broke the trend line. As per the rules, an area that breaks the trend line is a potential supply zone, and that happened there, and this is supply. So even though we don't have supply until up there, on the way up, since price is moving up and down, it will be breaking the trend lines and creating brand new imbalances that were not available at the time we were over here, but will be available when the price reacts to those areas. Okay, and that's how it works. Same here. Price rallies into that area, removes that area of demand. Why? Because this area of demand removed this area of supply, overshorted, didn't close, price dropped. When price retraces all the way back, okay, and we've got that trend line broken, then this is supply, and price is reacting to that on the Aussie Yen. Okay, so this is how it works. That is a clarification. When we've got a lot of room and the trend line is being respected, and there's enough profit margin, that is also demand. Okay, otherwise you will have to wait for years before you can trade. So that is a clarification, and hopefully it makes sense to you, because it has to make sense in order to apply the rules correctly and trade by them. Okay, that's all. Thanks a lot.